we're doing a new angle this video. Hopefully it's good. So I'm going to talk about 3 wrapper class functions you're going to need to know for the AP exam. And I'm going to split them into 2 groups. The first group are these, and the second group are these, or this one. So for starters, you have this wrapper class, right? And it holds some data type. Now, each data type has a minimum and a maximum value that it can hold. Now, this biggest or smallest value isn't tied to a specific number that you've created, right? Like the biggest number you could store in this int a equals 10 versus int c equals 100, right? Both of these ints can store the same biggest number because they're both ints. It doesn't matter what they currently have. It doesn't matter what their name is. They're both ints. So they can both hold this giant number. Same thing for minimum numbers. Now, the thing is, this maximum or minimum number are pretty important numbers to have access to. And so the wrapper classes give you access to these. So I'm going to show you 2 ways of using these. And the first one is to create a wrapper class, integer a equals 10, or equals new integer 10, new integer 10, right? Okay. And what you can do is you can go to any integer that you have, any wrapper class integer that is. It's called a, and I can say a dot max value. What is the biggest value I can store in this here variable? Let's see. Oops, what did I forget? Oh, I didn't capitalize it. Always remember to capitalize. Okay, this is the biggest number I can store. Now, no matter what variable I'm accessing that's an integer, it's always going to have the same biggest or smallest. And let me show you the smallest number we can store in here. Min value. Negative, right? So here's the interesting thing. You actually don't need to create an object of a wrapper class in order to access these kinds of variables, ones that are consistent across the board. And these are called constants, okay? Also static variables, but we'll get to what that means in a later lesson. All you need to know, integer, is that instead of calling a specific object that you have made with the integer class, instead you can just say Java, go to the integer class and get whatever the min value is. Because no matter what integer you use, it's always going to be the same smallest value or biggest value. And look, this works just the same, right? And that kind of makes sense. You know, something that isn't tied to a specific object shouldn't need a specific object to work. It's like speed of light, you know. Anyway, it's a constant. So that's different from type value. And by the way, max value and minimum value work for all primitives, or all wrapper classes for primitives. However, type value, which is, in our case, int value, takes some specific wrapper class object, say integer I equals new integer 40. How old I am. Haha, just kidding. Okay. So what you can do is, in order to get this value, you could just print out I. But there are some cases where you would want to say dot int value. Okay? And what this is going to do is this is just going to return that value as well. This is going to say, go in there and get an int